We tend to distrust simple answers. We buy the 300-page self-help books for advice that could fit on a postcard, and we seek out trademarked diet plans because we've been told the solution must be difficult to be effective. We create 47-step morning routines, not because they work better, but because they make us feel like we're doing something significant. This graph shows the backwards law. As effort increases, your success rate steadily drops. Desperately chasing happiness makes it elude you. It's like floating. If you panic and thrash around to keep your head up, you sink faster. Our craving for complexity is often just a form of misdirection. While we're busy searching for the most difficult path, we miss the simple actions that actually move the needle. Life generally rewards the relaxed professional over the desperate amateur. Most of us are control freaks in denial. We spend hours trying to predict the outcome of a meeting or planning every minute of a vacation, operating under the assumption that if we just organize enough, we can prevent life from throwing us a curveball. But trying to control your environment is like holding water in your hands. The harder you squeeze your fingers together, the faster the water slips through the gaps. 2,000 years ago, the Stoics identified the only two things actually within our circle of influence: our actions and our reactions. You can't control the traffic, and you can't control what your boss thinks of you. You can only control when you leave the house and how you conduct yourself. Instead of trying to be the CEO of the universe, imagine yourself as a surfer. You can't control the ocean, but you master the ride. When you stop trying to micromanage the chaos and start focusing on your own balance, the exhausting weight of trying begins to lift. You stop fighting the current and start using it. To understand why we struggle, we have to look at our hardware. Your brain weighs about 3 pounds and is 60% fat, yet it burns a full 20% of your daily calories just to keep your thoughts running. All that processing creates metabolic waste. While you sleep, your brain runs a literal night shift. Cerebrospinal fluid washes through your brain tissue like a dishwasher, clearing out the toxins that build up during a day of thinking. To make room for this fluid, your brain cells physically contract to open up channels. When you miss sleep, those pathways remain clogged. You're essentially trying to perform high-level work in a cluttered, toxic office. Everything takes more effort because your hardware is literally dirty. Before we can talk about mastery or success, we have to acknowledge that our cognition is entirely at the mercy of this physical cleaning process. Even when the hardware is clean, the software is biased. Your emotional brain processes information 500,000 times faster than your logical brain. Because of that massive head start, researchers estimate that 90% of your daily decisions are already made before your logic even wakes up. Think about your career or your closest relationships. You didn't choose them with a spreadsheet. You felt a gut attraction, and only then did your logical mind start building a rational-sounding story to explain it. In this system, your logic isn't the driver, it's the narrator, and that narrator is frequently making things up. Your memories aren't video files, they're Wikipedia pages. Every time you recall an event, you edit it, filling in gaps with current feelings and rewriting the past to match who you are today. This chart shows why you can't achieve your way to happiness. Whether you win the lottery or suffer an accident, your hedonic treadmill pulls your mood back to a flat baseline. On top of that, cognitive biases completely shatter this reality. We cherry-pick evidence to support what we already believe and fear losing $10 more than we enjoy gaining 10. We are essentially walking around with Instagram filters for reality. If your emotions have a 500,000 to 1 speed advantage, your memories are malleable stories, and your happiness level is chemically capped, how can you trust yourself to make actual progress? You stop trying to find yourself and start building yourself using simple, reliable math. You focus on the two things you actually control: your direct actions and your reactions. The 80-20 rule shows us that life isn't a linear one-to-one relationship. Usually, just 20% of your habits produce 80% of your results. Most of what you do is just noise that can be cut without losing any real value. To optimize that 20%, you must understand the habit loop, your brain's autopilot. Once paved, these neural pathways are permanent. You can't delete a bad habit, but you can hack the loop. Keep the cue and reward, but swap the routine. If stressed, replace eating junk food with 10 push-ups for the same temporary comfort. When you identify your vital 20% and design your habit loops consciously, you stop fighting against your brain's autopilot and start using it to drive you toward your goals. This leads us to the final rule, the power of compounding interest in your daily life. This curve shows a 1% daily improvement. It looks insignificant, but over a year, those tiny gains multiply. By day 365, you are 37 times better. But the math works in reverse too. A 1% daily decline drops you to almost zero. Small choices seem meaningless in the moment, but they compound into your destiny over time. Success isn't a complex secret. Just accept what you can't control. Identify the 20% that matters. Let tiny daily improvements build you. Everything else is just noise.